Drake London has the opportunity to be a triple crown threat. And you're probably already calling me crazy based off the title of the video, but if you look into why I say he's a threat, then you'll understand. And my why revolves around two things: the situation that Drake is in and his traits that he has. But without further ado, let's go and get into this video. Let's talk about it. So let's talk about Drake London's situation. So we all know Michael Penix is an up and coming star, but I want to talk about something else that'll help his case: the system that he's in. Zach Robinson is a part of the Sean McVay coaching tree. Ironically enough, Cooper Kupp won a triple crown under Sean McVay. Jamar Chase, he won a triple crown under Zach Taylor. Who does Zach Taylor coach for? Sean McVay. So if history is any indicator of who could possibly win a triple crown, Drake London is in the mix for it. And when we talk about the traits that Drake London possesses, he has traits similar to Jamar Chase and Cooper Kupp. Like I said before, those are the most two recent winners of the triple crown. If we look at some of the overlap between Jamar Chase and Drake London, they have excellent ball tracking in hands. They're both physical as hell. Underrated rack ability because they are shifty and they both operate inside and outside. Our first example we're going to look at is touchdown against Dallas. The Falcons come out and empty with Drake aligned as a number 2 receiver counting outside the end. By having Trayvon Diggs follow him in the slot, this is an obvious man tail. And since this part of the video is only focusing on Drake London, we're going to show that he's running a wheel route to the front pylon. Trayvon Diggs doesn't get hands on and disrupt the release, and he's able to easily get even with him and box him out for the touchdown. Since coming into the league, Drake London has been one of the best contested catchers in the league, and this is why he'll be a touchdown machine in the red zone because of plays like this. One of my favorite routes for him to run are these 10 to 15 yard in cuts. Whether he's aligned in the slot or in this instance he's the X receiver, he's a natural separator and he has great body control to shield the defender away from making a play on the ball. Similar to Jamar Chase, these are traits that he possesses. He absorbs the initial jam and he isn't thrown off of his spot, and when he goes up for the catch, he turns his body away from a Debo. Most of his production has come in between the numbers, and plays like this you can see why. One thing I think that is unique to Drake London is that if he loses on the route, he can still win at the catch. The Vikings are playing cover 5 or cover 2 man, and Drake is still running his deep in cut. Drake is going to take an outside release, and since they're in cover 2 man, you have inside leverage from the DB. The DB essentially runs the route for him, but the thing is, Drake London still wins at the catch. Even if it's a 50-50, it goes to the offense. Although you can describe his route running as shifty, when he gets the ball in his hands, he becomes very physical. Here he's running a looky route, which is basically a slant route, but he has the option to break back out if the defender walls him from the inside. He does a great job on the route by giving himself a two-way go. He squares up the defender, and once he breaks inside and gets the ball, he's able to lower his shoulder and bounce right off of the safety for the touchdown. When Kirk Cousins was playing quarterback for this team, he was more of a possession receiver, but once Michael Penix took over, you were able to see he was able to get yak. And I think this fall we'll be able to see Drake London unlock that part of his game because Michael Penix throws better passes than Kirk Cousins. Looking at some of the traits that Cooper Kupp and Drake London possess, they are both great possession receivers. They're both elite at running routes. They both have great football IQ, excellent in the slot especially. They work underneath, and they're not necessarily burners, but they're always getting open. I think the Cooper Kupp comparison is a little bit better, especially considering that he's being used the same way that Cooper Kupp was used when he won his triple crown. In order to be a successful slot receiver in the NFL, you need to have great spatial awareness. And watching both receivers on film, you see that they both possess this trait. I like to call it field mapping because this is what makes good receivers great. This is what makes DBs good in coverage. This is what makes quarterbacks great. Your ability to read space and understand where guys aren't supposed to be. Here the Falcons are running a high-low concept. They're trying to work the strong side linebacker. They're trying to stretch him horizontally to open up a window to hit this dig behind him. And on the back end, the Bucs are playing a regular cover 3 zone. Instead of London running directly across the field, once he makes his break, he sits down just about in between the hashes. The pump fake gives Drake London a bigger window to sit down. However, he still overruns Kirk Cousins just a little bit, but you see the ability to sit down where space is created is still there. A better example of this spatial awareness came against Carolina the first go round. The Falcons here are running a sail concept, which is pretty much just flood. You can call it whatever you want. The Panthers are playing cover 9, which is pretty much cover 6. Cover 6 is a mix of cover 4 and cover 2, but the difference is they're playing the cover 2 side to the strength of the formation, when traditionally you would play that towards the weak side of the formation. This is why Cooper Kupp and Travis Kelce are so good, because they understand the space that is created between the runoffs, and you see when he makes this catch, he's able to get a few yards because he doesn't run himself into coverage. It's many nuances like this in route running that make good receivers great, and we have a great receiver on our team. The last two plays are coming from the same game and they're the same play, so I won't show you for the second cut up. The Falcons are running a concept called shallow cross, which is pretty much self-explanatory. Drake is running the shallow crossing route, and this route is tagged to where you can sit down on the opposite hash if you're in zone coverage. The Giants are running cover 3, so you can expect Drake London to sit on the opposite hash, which he does. And the thing I like about this one is that when he catches this ball, he immediately gets upfield. And you see he's showing off that rack ability that we talked about earlier. And we've run this concept before, but we didn't have Drake London running the shallow cross, which speaks to Zach Robinson's evolution as a play caller. As I mentioned before, we're running the same concept here, but the picture looks different on defense. They're still running cover 3, but they send an extra rusher, creating a 33 blitz. Depending on the scheme, this coverage is typically more match based, which means they're going to match releases based on the route distribution. However, if you take notice of Drake London's route, he does not stop this at the opposite hash. He understands he can stop this in between since there's lesser guys in coverage. And it's on the fly adjustments like this on why I think Drake London can be one of those top tier receivers. Realistically, I don't think he can win the Triple Crown because that's very hard to do. However, I do think he will have another breakout year like he did this year. He will turn a lot of heads and we will see him make his first Pro Bowl, possibly even all pro. If y'all enjoyed this, please be sure to subscribe because I will be uploading more stuff like this in the future, but I'll see y'all guys later.